Have you ever gazed at the stars and felt truly alone? Well, what if I told you it's over? 100% of all species that ever lived on Earth are now extinct. It's a chilling thought, but it underscores a crucial question. Is survival a cosmic accident or a test? 48 hours ago, I got a call saying it's the latter. A call that changed everything. I thought I knew about three. I divided by Atlas. The voice on the other end was trembling. The NASA administrator I'd known for 20 years. The 5 words he spoke still send shivers down my spine. It simply responded to what I'm about to reveal, which will either convince you we're witnessing the most extraordinary natural phenomenon in cosmic history, or humanity's first confirmed communication with intelligence beyond our world. This isn't merely a signal, it's a paradigm shift. We spent decades broadcasting our existence, assuming the cosmos was a passive audience. This response suggests the audience isn't merely listening, it's analyzing. It possesses a technology that fundamentally rewrites our understanding of physics. My name is Avi Loeb. In my 40 years as a theoretical physicist, I've learned to distinguish the impossible from the improbable. What NASA discovered 3 days ago, I was separated from Atlantis. It crossed that line. This isn't merely a line, it's a chasm. Data shows 3. I divide by Atlas, not a lifeless object tumbling through space. This is an active probe, a messenger, demonstrating capabilities that defy our known laws, propulsion and energy. You recall our earlier conversation about this enigmatic interstellar visitor, how it decelerated when it should have accelerated, how it carried companions in perfect formation. These anomalies are only the beginning. There's something else. 3I divided by Atlas has been doing something unprecedented. NASA has classified the data at the highest level, but someone inside believes the public has a right to know the truth. Have you ever wondered what first contact actually looks like? Not Hollywood explosions or dramatic landings, but something subtle, elegant, and almost scientific. November 2024, Deep Space Network Facility 3, Goldstone, California. 42 a.m. Pacific Time. The radio telescope detected something that shouldn't exist. 3I divided by Atlas is transmitting not random electromagnetic noise, not solar reflections, a structured modulated signal containing mathematical patterns, reflecting our own attempts, interstellar communication. Consider the significance of this. This isn't mere noise. The presence of mathematical structure, prime numbers, geometric ratios is the universal handshake we've been seeking. This is the ultimate proof we speak the same logical language, yet it actually mirrors our own attempts. Much like the Arecibo message indicating deliberate, sophisticated mimicry designed for our recognition. But here's the terrifying part. The signal wasn't randomly broadcast into space, it was directly aimed at Earth, specifically at our largest radio telescope array. 3 impossible events occurred simultaneously. First, I divided Atlas, proving it knew exactly where our communication infrastructure was located. Second, it began transmitting on the frequencies we use for SETI research. Third, the mathematical content indicates it has been monitoring our signals for decades. Let me be perfectly clear about what this means. For 75 years, we've been broadcasting radio signals into space TV programs, radar pulses like Arecibo in 1974. We assumed these signals vanished into cosmic emptiness, endlessly traversing the void. We were wrong. Something has been receiving them. Something has been analyzing them. Now something is responding in our own mathematical language. The signal from 3I divided by Atlas contains prime number sequences, Fibonacci sequences, and mathematical constants like pi, calculated to 847 decimal places. This is no coincidence. This is proof of intelligence. This is the core of the scientific method: observation, hypothesis, and verification. The observation is the signal. The hypothesis is the intelligence. The verification is the content. Is a transcendental number a cosmic constant? Calculating it to 847 decimal places is not a natural phenomenon. It is proof of computational capability. It is a calling card. But what terrifies NASA most is not that we received the signal. It's that the signal arrived exactly 47 years after our first transmission. deliberately sending information into space. Do you grasp the significance of this timing? When I first analyzed the transmitted data, my hands trembled. Not from excitement, but from dread, because embedded within these mathematical sequences were elements that transformed my understanding of physics itself. 3. I divided by Atlas. To deliver the solution to the unified field theory, a problem that had troubled physicists for over a century, the very same problem Einstein spent his final decades trying to solve. The mathematics were elegant, beautiful, completely beyond our current scientific capabilities. It was as if someone had given us the answer to a question we barely possessed the wisdom to ask. This may be the most profound educational moment in human history. We received the Teacher's Universe textbook edition. This means our entire scientific journey has been confined to a small box. This signal is the key to unlocking that box, yet it also reveals how primitive our tools truly are. But what's truly terrifying is the signal also contains detailed schematics of our own deep space network, telescope blueprints, classified as confidential during construction, precise coordinates of facilities, never to appear on any public map, whatever sent this signal. Isn't just listening to our broadcasts, it has been monitoring our technological advancements. With intelligent patience measured in millennia, not years, I must be honest with you. For weeks I defended the possibility of 3. I divided by Atlas being natural, a strange comet, an unusual asteroid, anything that could maintain our comfortable isolation in the cosmos. But this signal changed everything. No natural phenomenon could explain the mathematical proof. No cosmic coincidence generating blueprint specifications. A random process with no target, specific Earth coordinates. The moment my scientific skepticism shattered occurred on 417A, when I realized the signal contained my own equation. Walk I published in 1987 on 11-dimensional hyperspace research. I spent 3 years developing Return to Us, corrected I never considered that someone or something had been studying our science, understanding our mathematics. Now they show us we need to advance further. Deep Space Network recorded 17 minutes of continuous transmission, but this cannot be dismissed as equipment malfunction. 3 independent facilities on different continents simultaneously detected the same signal: Goldstone, California CRA, Australia, Madrid, Spain, all confirmed identical mathematical sequences, same targeting precision, same impossible knowledge of our infrastructure. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the transmission ceased, no gradual fade out, because 3, I divided by at finally leaving us, but instantly, as if someone flipped a switch. NASA's total information blackout data resides in classified databases. Recordings are sealed under national security protocols. Even the technicians who detected the signal have been reassigned to other projects. But they couldn't hide the truth from everyone because 3. I divided by Atlas wasn't just communicating with government agencies. It discovered global amateur radio operators transmitting fragments. What happened next revealed how unprepared our systems were for this reality. Within 6 hours of the transmission, every major space agency activated emergency communications protocols I didn't even know existed. Yes, NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, NSA. They activated something called the Cosmic Contact Emergency Network, a classified system designed specifically for this scenario. Official public statements cited routine equipment calibration, causing temporary signal anomalies, but the internal documents I obtained tell a completely different story. Vote 3 emergency meetings at the highest levels of government, closed-door briefings for Congress, and a debate over whether humanity is prepared for the psychological impact confirmed non-human intelligence. Because it wasn't just 3. I stopped dividing by Atlas. The transmitted signal contained coordinates for 17 other objects approaching our solar system, objects that wouldn't reach us for decades, but would definitely arrive. Remember those small objects moving in clusters? Divide by Atlas using 3, we thought they were debris, perhaps natural satellites captured during space travel. The signal revealed their true purpose. They are not debris, They are relay stations, communication nodes, positioned to ensure clear signals across interstellar distances, each companion object precisely activated during transmission, creating a network of receivers and amplifiers, coordinated with microsecond precision, This level of coordination spanning millions of miles is astonishing. It requires mastery of relativistic timing and signal processing far beyond our own. This means these companions are not mere relays. They are autonomous, intelligent nodes within a vast network, capable of self-correction and precise positioning. The sheer energy required to power such a network presents another enigma, suggesting energy sources we can only theorize about. But the most chilling detail: network configuration, expanding as 3I divides Atlas traversal deep into our solar system. These objects are repositioning themselves, achieving optimal communication beyond our detection range. We are not merely being contacted, we are being incorporated into a communications network far beyond our solar system. A network indicating this is not first contact, this is recruitment. Last night at 3 a.m., my wife found me in the study, staring at equations I couldn't solve. She asked what was wrong. For the first time in 40 years of marriage, I couldn't find the right words. How do you explain to the one you love that everything about our place in the cosmos was a naive fantasy? We aren't adventurers exploring space, but children being assessed by an intelligence we barely comprehend. This is the great filter theory in practice. Perhaps the challenge for any intelligent species, not merely to avoid self-destruction, but to survive the psychological shock of realization you are not the pinnacle of cosmic intelligence. This is an existential test forcing us to redefine humanity in a sudden, undeniably crowded signal from 3I divide by Atlas, containing the final element, troubling me, countdown clearly showing the mathematical sequence of time, duration, preparation. We have 127 days. How long until 3? I divide by Atlas, reaching a location in our solar system where it can establish a permanent communication relay for anything sent here. 127 days to decide if we are ready for dialogue that will define humanity's future. Everything we thought we knew about 3I divided by Atlas's trajectory is wrong. It did not follow a random path through our solar system. Every course correction, every velocity change was calculated to achieve optimal positioning for the communication network. December 19th is not merely another observation window. It is the moment of 3. When I divide by Atlantis' precise arrival point, where its signal can be received by all major radio telescopes on Earth simultaneously. NASA knows this. They've known since the first transmission. That's why they remain silent. They are no longer merely observing, they are preparing humanity faces. 3 scenarios: we can attempt communication, risking exposure of our technological limitations. We could maintain silence and hope I divide by Atlas to finally depart, or we could attempt to disrupt their network, triggering reactions we're unprepared for. But what frightens me most is that the decision is no longer ours, because the signal contains a final message, encoded using principles of quantum mechanics. We've only just begun to grasp the mathematics conveyed by 3I divide by Atlas. Not only resolves our theoretical physics problems, it reveals fundamental flaws in our understanding of space-time and consciousness itself, what we call impossible. Interstellar travel, faster than light communication, consciousness, traversing multidimensionality. This isn't a violation of physics, but an application of physics we haven't yet discovered. This is the educational value I mentioned. This signal is actually a lesson in advanced physics. It demonstrates concepts like the Alcubierre drive or quantum entanglement for communication. Aren't science fiction but engineering problems. The message is simple. Your physics is incomplete. They're showing us the next chapter. The signal indicates intelligence transcends biological constraints. We assume it is universal, that consciousness can exist in forms We never imagined operating across galactic rotations of time. We've always sought life like ours. But what if life like ours is the kindergarten version of intelligence? What if we're being contacted by graduates of the cosmic education system whose existence we don't even know? 3. I divide by Atlas, not merely an interstellar visitor. This is an invitation to grow, transcending our current limitations. If we have the courage to accept the challenge, but this invitation carries an implicit cost. Growth requires shedding skin. We must be willing to relinquish cherished beliefs, our scientific dogmas, our cultural arrogance, our geopolitical divisions. The value of this connection lies in our humble willingness and centuries of learning. We assumed that if we encountered non-human intelligence, we would be the ones asking questions. What do you want? Where do you come from? How did you get here? But 3i divided by Atlas reverses this dynamic. They already know our origins, how we arrived at our desires. Their questions run far deeper. Are you prepared to abandon your illusion of solitude? Can you accept your technology as primitive? Will you transcend your current limitations? The signal contains fragments of our own history. Events an outsider could never know. Private conversations, classified experiments. Thoughts and dreams existing only within human consciousness. Either we are dealing with technology so advanced it appears magical, or we are confronting consciousness that itself transcends the boundaries of our imagination. This is what I believe is happening based on evidence we can no longer ignore. I divide by Atlas, representing the first confirmed contact, a form of intelligence that has been observing human development. For centuries, watching us evolve from primitive tool users into a species capable of detecting their presence. And now they offer us a choice for our species' future. Join the galactic intelligence community, a prospect we scarcely comprehend, or remain isolated on Earth until we either evolve naturally or face extinction. The countdown in their signal is not a threat, but a deadline. The time allotted for humanity to demonstrate our readiness for the responsibilities ahead and claim cosmic citizenship. For what follows, 127 days is not invasion or conquest. It is a graduation ceremony, reaching the level of existence we have long dreamed of. December will mark the end of humanity's childhood, the day we formally acknowledge we are not alone and begin the process of growing to become greater than we ever imagined. I want you to prepare yourself mentally. For the reality of human intelligence is but a single note in the cosmic symphony of consciousness, where our greatest achievements are mere elementary exercises. In the curriculum we've only just begun to understand. Pay attention to what space agencies release, more importantly, what they don't release, because their silence speaks louder than any official statement. Document everything you observe. Share your experiences because we are all witnesses to the most significant moment in human history. And future generations will wonder how we responded to the invitation. Because after 3, I finally divided. We will never see ourselves the same way again. Remember, 127 days. This is the time we must decide what kind of species we wish to be. The analysis presented represents an interpretation of available scientific data and should not be considered official confirmation of extraterrestrial contact. All theoretical scenarios discussed remain speculative, awaiting further verification. But sometimes, as scientists, we must have the courage to voice possibilities, challenging everything we believe. Because the universe cares not for our comfort zones. What do you think about 3? I divide humanity through artless transmission. Are we ready for this conversation? The lesson here is profound humility. For all our achievements, we've always viewed the universe through a keyhole. This signal, this contact, kicked the door open. It teaches us the universe is not only stranger than we imagined, it is stranger than we imagined, but it also brings hope. It shows that the grand challenges of physics, even consciousness, have solutions. We are invited to the next phase of cosmic evolution. This story is far from over. What do you think the true purpose is? 3. I divide by Atlas. Is this a threat or the greatest opportunity in human history? Share your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to subscribe to this channel because we will track this development step by step. The next 127 days will determine our future.